Jason Voorhees is cryogenically frozen for 445 years and awakens in 2455 after being found by a group of students whom he subsequently stalks and kills one by one. It's Jason X. Welcome, class, to Ghoul School. Fortunately, Funky Hellblade's DJ career has really taken off, and they're on their way to spooky Los Angeles. Or just regular Los Angeles, am I right? Anyway, please welcome your substitutes.
Hello and welcome to
another period of the Ghoul School. You absolute son of a bitch.
We can't do that. We can't do that.
I mean, I quit. Absolutely, I quit.
I got it right on the dot, pretty much.
Run it. It was pretty good, but run at it one more time there, Brian.
Hello and welcome to another period at the Ghoul School.
No, we can't do it sad.
No, yes we can. Yes we can. We're doing it sad this week.
I was your first host, Brian. Just Brian.
Until I superseded you.
Yeah, Brian
Brian doesn't even have a last name anymore.
Yeah, Brian superseded Stork.
And I am Noland. There's no nickname other than the fact that I live in the heart of the city of Hanoi.
Yeah.
And I'm Caro Cryogenically Frozen Knight.
Ooh.
Now that's interesting because you're here talking right now, but you are cryogenically frozen. So did they figure out a way to like transfer your conscience into something outside of your body?
I have something to tell you guys.
Yeah.
I'm a clone.
Oh.
So,
cool.
But it's actually one of those fancy dual clones. So, like, my real body is cryogenically frozen, but I'm the clone that's like wired brain Bluetooth wise.
Yeah.
You know?
So
like,
you're like
we're sharing the same memory cloud.
You're like a classic clone husk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, you know what this makes me think of? Mm-hmm. In Star Wars Legends, which of course, as of last week, or not last week,
I-Man Legends.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, maybe. I don't know. I-Man Legends. I don't remember. Time is not a thing anymore.
Time is a social construct.
I-Man is in Star Wars Legends, but it reminds me of Luke with 3 U's from Star Wars Legends. Luke. Do you know? You know of this,
Well, I
Brian?
know that there's Luke. There's taller Luke and there's shorter Luke. There's no way this is gonna stay in the podcast.
This is a terrible way to open the podcast.
I'm pretty sure Luke is he's just a Luke clone, but he's taller.
Yeah.
Oh my god, guys! Can I tell you what movie we're watching?
This is
no,
absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm gonna hang up this Zoom call.
Is it better or worse to not explain taller Luke and just leave it? I
Just
guess
leave
leave
it.
it.
We should just
Okay,
leave it.
We'll just
Just
leave
leave
it. All right,
it.
go ahead.
If you see the video, maybe you'll get a good picture of Luke.
Yeah,
No.
I'll have a text paragraph flash on the screen for a tenth of a second.
I
There
have
we go.
a game for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, on IMDb, you can go through the plot keywords. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking I was going to read a couple of those keywords to you and see if you could have any idea of what this movie is or what it's about.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Female doctor.
Okay.
Serial teen murderer.
Ooh.
Okay.
Murder by machete.
Okay.
Cryogenics.
Oh.
21st century. 25th century.
25th century.
Is this Repo the Genetic Opera?
No.
Okay.
Is this Lawnmower Man?
Oh, that's a good thought. That's a good thought, Brian.
I have one last one that might give it away.
Okay.
Okay.
Hockey mask.
Oh, it's Jason X.
Holy
It's Jason
shit.
X, baby.
Is
We're
this
watching
Jason Goes to
X.
Space?
Hell yes. Actually,
Alright.
I really fuck with this movie. I
do too, deeply. It's the only one that I've seen out of these movies. Fun fact.
I know this movie.
I watched it as a bit, and it became like one of my favorite movies.
I know this movie purely by reputation. I have never even, I don't think, seen a still from it.
So Brian, what do you think it's about?
This is the one where Jason does go to space, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, what else am I supposed to? Jason
So
goes to space.
What do you give me a plot synopsis?
Okay, so you know how they sent like dogs and stuff into space to see if it would be like good for humans and whatnot. So this is, they sent humans into space to see if it would be good for Jason's, and now that they've tested it on the humans. They're finally ready to send Jasons into space.
But not just Jason Voorhees, just like guys named Jason.
Yeah.
Jason in general.
Yeah.
They don't know what space travel will do to your Jason genetic code.
Right, no, you just don't know. You just don't know.
When you're born as a Jason, your body alters as you age, and they don't know what kind of effect that'll have.
Yeah, this
Right.
is also...
I mean, that's one thing. That's one thing they don't tell you about people named Jason is that like none of them were named by their parents as Jason. No. Like when a baby is conceived. That is adjacent. It's just inherently named Jason.
Mm-hmm.
This
so
is
you have to go in the ultrasound.
Submit to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go into the ultrasound and they can tell genetically
it's carved into their belly
whether or not it's going to be a Jason or not.
Listen, there's a 30% chance that your baby will be a Jason. And
that's
because
pretty high.
30% of the people on Earth are named Jason.
Jason, yeah. I was more talking about like after an ultrasound they talk to the parents, but no, in the entire world there are 30% Jasons.
Are you talking about Jason eugenics?
Jason Genics, yeah.
God. Okay, is that all you think happens in this movie? Is that they're sending people into space to see if it's safe for Jason Voorhees to go?
Yeah, well, I think it's basically just like that movie about Neil Armstrong, except at the end of it, there's like, yeah, first man, except then the second man is
Except
Jason.
it's like second man, yeah.
yeah, at the very end, yeah.
Is there a subplot about Jason's daughter?
No, there is not.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want to hear what this movie's actually about?
I would very much like to, yes.
Set in the 25th century, Earth is no longer inhabitable, so humans have colonized in outer space. One colony receives 2 cryogenically frozen bodies, and when they defrost them, one of the bodies turns out to be Jason Voorhees. No longer in the forest or Camp Crystal Lake, Jason stalks the colonists in a whole new environment.
Okay.
Hell yeah, baby. It's
So
really, I kind of like, I don't know if anyone has seen Alien Covenant here, but I kind of feel like Alien Covenant really ripped off Jason X.
Okay, so this movie came out in 2001. It's in the details of this, it says that they froze Jason in 2008 and he's being unfrozen in what 2001 thought 2455 was going to be like.
So we missed it. We missed him getting frozen. He's frozen now.
Yeah, he's currently frozen.
Shit.
So now, to be clear, this movie came out, like, after, like, American Beauty and, like, Fight Club and, like, Magnolia. It came out after these movies.
Yeah.
This is a 20-year-old movie.
So, yeah, so that is fascinating because when did the Leprechaun go to space?
The Leprechaun went to space?
Yeah, the Leprechaun went to space.
Yeah.
And was this in like because it feels like that was earlier, right? That couldn't have happened in 2001.
I'm trying to remember if the Leprechaun went to space.
Whatever.
I went. Let's see. That's 96.
Okay, okay.
The thing is, when you run out of ideas.
Right. Well, Jason X came out 1 year after Leprechaun went to quote the hood.
Yeah. So.
God.
So now.
Twice. He went twice.
He did.
There's a sequel to that one
he loved it
specifically.
so much that he went back. But here's my thing: is that does that mean that now in like 5 years, Jason is going to also go to the hood?
Yes.
It's a really racially sensitive movie.
Yeah. I don't like that. But you know what I do love? Ridiculous action sequences in space.
That's
I
true.
love when franchises jump so many sharks. The thing that made me think of this was I was playing, since I have free time now, I was playing some video games, and I was thinking, I was like, one of my favorite things in video games is when shit just goes wild and it doesn't feel the need to explain itself, and it's just batshit. And I was like, what movie can I pick that's just unapologetically insane?
Yeah.
And it's this one.
I think that there should be a special award for, like, an Oscar for films that, for long established franchises that very suddenly go to space. I think
Yes.
it's a
the
very
Space Award.
bold and
Star Trek.
powerful choice. Yeah, no. I think
Alright.
like I feel like I'm still waiting for Fast and Furious to jump to the moon.
Yes.
You know?
Brian,
Did
Fast
they-
and Furious 9 goes to
they go to
space.
Are they
Do
going
they
to
really?
space?
As in the one that I think came out last weekend.
Yeah, it came out last weekend. Wait, do
Incredible.
they actually go to space?
Yeah, they go to
Fuck
space.
yeah.
I've
It
manifested
makes
Oh my
me
it.
want to
God.
get. It makes me want to get fucking slammed and walk to the movie
Yes.
theater and
Yeah.
see
Holy
We
shit,
should do
dude.
that. Well, I'm really excited to watch this movie with you boys. It's gonna be a time. It's available on Netflix, which is kind of sick.
it. What?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. I'll open Netflix for the first time in 7 months.
Easily accessible here for once in our goddamn life.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
But also, I
We
will
did
leave
watch
you with
Arby's
this.
of the Dead.
Yeah,
though.
Arby's of the bread.
Arby's of the Bread. I'll get it
I
someday.
have one thing that I'm mad about before we watch this movie.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. What
yeah.
did I do?
No, it's not you. It's the fact that they didn't call him SPACEon Voorhees. And
that's
that's
good.
the
True.
only thing that I'm mad about.
You know what?
Well, that's the title of this episode now.
Incredibly,
Space and
it is.
Voorhees.
Also, it's question. Just sorry, real quick. Did SpaceX already exist? It did, right?
No.
No, absolutely
So
not.
is
no,
SpaceX-
definitely not.
2001? No.
I don't know. So is
Tesla
space.
didn't even exist.
So so here's the thing then. Jason X. I mean,
Spaceon X.
it's
SpaceX.
right there. It happened.
It's all connected.
They're
You know, I mean,
pushing
Elon
us
Musk
toward that.
is Elon Musk. What is happening?
Elon
to me? I'm
Musk-
becoming my mother.
elongated
we need to just
miscalculation.
watch the movie. This
Elon
is a
Musk-
long intro.
Elon Musk is genuinely like a living meme. Fuck
Yeah.
that guy. But he is like a living meme, so he might have done that.
He
Yeah.
probably watched this movie and was like, "That seems like a good idea. Let's actually do one of those."
Okay,
Yep.
let's
I'll
go
take
watch.
I'll take one, please.
Let's go watch Elon Musk's SpaceX.
Spooky Dark Spell, with your beautiful, luscious tunes, shoot us to the moon, baby.
Yeah, shoot us to the moon. As the rain of a passing storm breaches against my windows, I feel once more a grave sense of responsibility. For on this night we have found another film that I hesitate to be able to describe, and yet I must do my grim work. Jason X is
was
here,
wondering-
boys.
I was wondering what tone this was taking, of if it was pain and suffering or if it was delight and amusement. I
It's-
think it might be both.
I think for me it's more a grim purpose. A cross to bear. Because I don't know.
You do have to. You have to bear the pain and the suffering and the guilt of having seen this movie.
Yeah. It's great and
It's a
awful. And
It's the best and worst movie I've ever seen.
the entire film is a porn parody of itself that never starts.
It's like if it was a porn parody of both Alien and Friday the 13th.
I gotta admit,
Yeah.
But
I
there's
was
no sex in it.
I was so bored I was so bored for this whole movie.
There were parts of it that were incredibly boring, and there were parts of it that were the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
I don't know if I can say that I was ever fully bored, because it gets so weird so fast and stays weird for so long.
It starts weird,
Yeah.
but in the first 6 minutes, Jason Voorhees takes 16 bullets to the body.
Also, even just the title sequence is like an X-Men style like mutation,
It is.
like kind of thing where it's like going through
It's
like
like
going through the
DNA.
inside of his body, but it's going through the inside of Jason's body, and it's it's shown that the inside of his body is hell. Like
Okay,
this,
let me give context to this. So in the
Okay.
previous film, it's called Jason Goes to Hell, and Jason,
okay, you know what? That does explain it.
yeah, Jason was in hell, so that's why.
So, was he inside of himself?
Listen, that movie, we're gonna have to cover that
Honey,
movie
I Shrunk the
relatively
Kids
soon.
scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to really cover that movie soon because it is it's something.
Yeah.
It's something.
There's just a quick piece of business that I have to get out of the way so that I don't forget. The assistant props master of this movie was named Jeff Darth Maul.
Yes.
I saw that.
I took a screenshot of that. I also took a screenshot of the 2 songs that were in this movie called Jason Jam and X is the Loneliest Number.
I wrote those.
Send me both of those screenshots so that the folks at home can
Written
see
and
them.
performed by Ethan Wiley and John Scholl with Mean Bunny music.
Oh, jeez.
Mean Bunny music, that was me. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
So this is a film where Jason does go to space and also the future, and he gets cryogenically frozen, and he does a future murder, and it's
the
a thing for sure.
You can get an exact replica of this movie if you made a porn parody of Alien, and instead of the xenomorph, you just replaced it with Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Yeah, it is.
The entire thing takes place on this spaceship, and then the one time you're like, oh, they're gonna go to a planet or something, they fucking blow it up, so...
Yeah, it does. This movie does have the kind of loose. It's like you described Jason or Alien or something to someone, and then they made a porn that was about it, but like didn't really know it. You know what I mean? So like all the visuals are a little bit wrong, and everything feels a little bit off. But like it's all clearly what it is.
You know what it looks like to me, Brian?
What?
It looks like an episode of Smallville that's like really, really shooting for something that it is not budgetarily
If
capable of
Smallville
doing.
tried to make the Legion of Superheroes, this is kind of the vibe of what this is. And so the guy who plays Jason in this, he's credited in such a way that it makes me feel like this is like the guy. Is that?
Yeah, no, he's not the guy.
He's just
but he
a
is
guy?
a famous guy. He's a famous big guy.
Who?
He's a big, famous, big man.
Like a wrestler, or like a what's his?
I'm pretty sure he was a wrestler. Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to think of areas where
He's
you have a
famous for
famous
being
big
large.
man.
I mean,
He's good.
If
I thought.
anybody's gonna play a big man, it might as well be a guy who's famous for being large.
Yeah. So should we just kind of bounce around? What caught your fancy in this?
Yeah, so, didn't know this movie took place in an aquarium because so many sharks were jumped. It was
Fuck
truly absurd.
That was a good one, Caro.
Thank you. There is a moment, where Jason is flying through space, and I just had a flashback to the Leia flying through space thing from the Star Wars
From The Last
Are you,
Jedi.
are you
sequels.
referring to the end of the film when he's flying down to Earth?
No.
No, when he flies at the cabin.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
There's a few.
I had a flashback.
There's a few incredible VFX shots in this. One of them is a shot where Jason. It's like the climactic shot. Look, from what we've described, what you're picturing, that's the movie. So we don't really have to describe it that much. But during the climactic like sequence, the ship explodes and the escape pod is getting away, and then they look through the window and they see Jason just kind of flying straight toward them inexplicably, just through space. No spacesuit. He's got the fucking machete still.
Arms outstretched.
Arms outstretched. And then suddenly another friend of theirs in a spacesuit just kind of soars in from the side as if fired from a cannon, just grabs Jason, and they
Just
both
decks him.
fling down into orbit of the Earth, and we see multiple
Right.
shots of them like holding each other. Holding
Now,
each other
this
so
reminds-
tenderly
this was
as they
actually-
burn
Bro
up.
comet.
This scene was actually the main inspiration for the Tesseract scene in Interstellar.
Yeah.
When he can see all of his life. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah, it's basically the same thing.
the way that they're falling down from space across the planet, and it then cuts to this couple who are looking up at the stars, like stargazing, and they see the Jason and this guy fly overhead as like a shooting star, and they're like, oh wow, a shooting star. And it's like, wow, what a beautiful end to that romance that those two had, I guess. It's really beautiful, actually.
Yeah, so also I had a running Jason bullet count,
Okay.
and
How could you possibly
I lost,
have kept
I
that?
lost count somewhere around 431. So if that gives you an idea of how many explosives and weapons are in this movie, like the sheer amount of guns in this movie is absolutely absurd. There are 2 gun wranglers credited for this movie.
I'm shocked it's only 2.
Was
Yeah,
one of
I
them
was
named
too.
Dave Handman? Because there was a guy in the credits
He was
named
the
Dave
editor, I think.
Handman.
Wasn't he the editor?
Daveman?
Dave Man, yeah.
Dave Hand.
Hans McTavish, yeah, that guy. I liked... Okay, it looks terrible, at least the monster stuff does, but I like their use of the holodeck, where they introduce it, and it's like these 2 guys playing a video game with like these horrible CGI monsters, and then Jason comes in and he like slashes through the monster, and then the guys think he's a part of the game, and he comes in and murders both of them, but they're both just like game avatars, and Jason's just confused for a minute, and then the holodeck comes back later where they like distract him by making Camp Crystal Lake to like confuse him and make him do other stuff. I thought that was a cool
that seems
idea.
Fucking hilarious.
It's a
also.
ridiculous scene because of what
With the
they
girls saying,
do.
we love premarital sex.
It's weird. I could never tell how self-aware this movie was. Like, it seemed to wildly jump around in like how much it knew what it was doing.
Yeah, it felt like multiple people were writing the script, like each scene, like a sort of in an Exquisite Corpse style type of writing exercise. And it depended on who got the scene that was self-aware or not of what they were doing.
Yeah, because there's also a bit where one of the guy who ends up in a loving embrace with Jason and becoming a shooting star, he gets stabbed like once in the abdomen by Jason, and then goes, "It's gonna take more than one stab in the ribs to put this old
This
dog
is funny.
down."
This was
and
very
then
funny.
and then another knife stabs through his stomach, and he goes, "Yeah, that'll probably do it."
Genius.
He was
Very
one of
funny.
my favorite characters in this whole movie. Nolan, what's one thing you like?
One thing I like, not so I have 2 things. One is a big general thing, and one thing is a small thing. Let me go with the general thing first. I like that this movie is extremely aware of what it is. Like, it's not taking itself seriously at all.
No, God, no, it is not.
Because, like, for instance, like Jason Goes to Hell, like, kind of takes itself seriously, and it's an absolute nightmare to watch because of
And
that.
it's called Jason Goes to Hell.
Right, and yeah, that whole movie, there's so many stories about that movie. The other thing I like, this is a small thing, I'm glad that in this universe, hockey was banned in 2024.
You have
because
to
you know what?
describe.
Only bad things have ever come from hockey. One, injuries.
what?
2, injuries. 2, people getting mad at each other. 3, 3, the movie Miracle. And 4, it's cold in there.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty cold in there.
Consider this. I have one counterpoint to your hockey is only bad. Gritty.
That's both
That's
a
true.
counterpoint
That
and
is
a
true.
point, actually.
Yeah,
It's,
it is both the worst and best thing to come out of hockey.
and
but
wait,
gritty, though.
just to describe kind of what he's
A
talking
world
about.
without gritty.
Just to describe what he's talking about with a world without gritty is that there's a bit early on when the future people first unfreeze cryogenically frozen Jason, and they are like, what is that on his head, on his face? Is it some kind of like armor or something? And then they're like, oh, it's a hockey mask. Like, what the fuck is that? It's like, it's a piece of sports equipment from a game that was outlawed in 2035 or whatever. What was the year?
2024.
2024. So close.
In 3 years. In 3
left.
years,
Shit,
Brian.
I've never even appreciated it while we had it. Fuck. Damn
So
it.
everybody get your
Because
hockey
there's
in
nothing to
before
appreciate.
You can't.
And you know, Carol, I have a counterpoint to your counterpoint.
Okay.
If there's one thing I know about Gritty, it's that he perseveres and he lives on.
I was
That's
gonna
true.
ask, do you think Gritty could beat Jason?
Oh, fuck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Have you seen
Absolutely.
Gritty?
Do you think if humans hadn't have in their hubris outlawed hockey, that Gritty would have saved them all?
It was, you know why they actually outlawed hockey?
Why?
It's because
Gritty was too powerful.
Gritty was getting too strong.
That's true.
Yeah.
He was absorbing too
Because
many hockey
everybody-
powers.
Yes,
Exactly.
everybody knows that Gritty's power is absorbed through the cheers from the stadium, so they had to cut off that power source, or else, Gritty would have become, supreme emperor.
Yeah,
of
and
Earth
from eating
1 or
hockey
whatever.
pucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crunchy.
That is all he actually consumes.
There's also another piece of this universe's history that they mention, which is that there was something called the Microsoft Wars, or the Microsoft
I love
conflict,
that. That made me
where
really
people
happy.
were brutally murdering each other for some reason to do with
With
Microsoft.
their own limbs.
Yeah.
With their own limbs.
I just love that this is the same universe as like the original, like the rest of these movies, you know?
Yes.
Like the original ones. That, like, this is the history of this universe.
I can't wait to go back and cover the original Friday the 13th.
Insane.
With this movie in mind.
I think
that
that
this is going to happen in 450 years.
Yeah, and that like hockey's gonna be outlawed, and that Microsoft wars are gonna happen. I think. I think
The
that
Microsoft War is kind of like a little bit of a Dune vibe. Like, you know,
Yeah.
in Dune, how like there's a computer war and there's no more computers in Dune.
that's true, but I guess in this, they've resolved it, and they just have different computers now, or just still
Yeah.
maybe Microsoft were
Bill
on one.
Gates. They just killed Bill Gates.
Yeah. I mean, it's bound to happen. If it's not Bezos, it's definitely Mr. Gates.
Yeah, Bezos v
My
Gates,
favorite thing
Dawn
about
of
this movie
Justice.
was
That would be the dawn of justice if they both died.
Honestly.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
just get rid of them. My favorite part about this movie was that there was a robot android woman
Yeah.
who looks and operates functionally like a human woman, but she's like less destructible and doesn't bleed and is also a robot. She's like fighting Jason and such, and her head gets knocked off, and then they just like carry her
Yeah,
head
and
around
she's
for
just
the rest of the movie.
She's just quipping, making jokes, having a good
Yeah.
time.
There's like another 42 minutes left of the movie, and she's
You know,
just
honestly,
ahead.
I'm really starting to feel like this movie was like a major influence on some of the big sci-fi movies of the past decade. Like at the end of Prometheus, how David, the android David's head is ripped off and everyone's walking around with David.
Okay,
it's
wait,
like this
guys.
movie.
No.
What?
I mean, I think it's slightly more like, am I breaking the bit to say that this is ripping off Aliens? Or
no.
sorry, okay, right. Yeah, no, this is
No.
the first time that this was done, and it's really incredible, and I like it a lot.
It's what
And I
inspired
think-
Stop
Prometheus.
breaking the bit, Brian.
You know that one person
Sir.
person's gonna be like, excuse me?
Well, actually,
Yeah.
if you guys would have done your research.
But I think just to speak on that fight that this android woman has with Jason, it is the most. What year did this come out, Jason X? We talked about this in the first
2001.
part, but 2001. This is the most thing of itself, like the thing of this genre, of this kind of fight. There is nothing more this than this. If that makes sense. She's doing quadruple flips. She's doing quintuple flips. She's
It's
doing so
very
many flips.
post-Matrix.
She'll do
you
it.
know?
She'll do 1,000 flips to do one really ineffective kick at the end of it. It's an
Yeah.
incredible maneuver. She's got
know
so
what's
many
really
guns. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I know I said something similar to this in the intro, but I just want to emphasize this point. This movie came out the same year as Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
And you can really see the parallel thinking going on there.
I don't know what month of the year this came out, but there is a possibility that's like a 1 out of 12 possibility that this was in theaters at the same time as Fellowship of the Ring.
Playing next door.
So just technically speaking, this was up for the same Oscars season.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Cool.
You could think of it this way. You could be watching either this or Fellowship of the Ring and hear the other movie from the other wall.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's the life we lead in this universe. Hold on, I'm seeing what awards it was nominated for. It
Positively.
was nominated for 1 award.
Okay. What was
In
it?
2002 from the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films, the Cinescape Genre Face of the Future Award for Lexa Doig,
Wow,
who played Andromeda.
Two swings and a miss. They
Yeah.
called it for Tom Sawyer and LXG.
Nope.
Just
Yeah, I don't know if that poor actor ever was in another
Nope.
movie.
I don't think that this whatever this awards show is really has their finger on the pulse of the future. I would have to say.
I mean, she was fine, but she wasn't, great.
Was
It's
anyone
the
in this
Academy of Science Fiction. If any academy should have their finger on the pulse
That's
of
what
the
I'm-
future, it should be this one. They must be like some big like H.G. Wells fans or something like that.
Yeah, no, they're just big Jason Goes to Hell fans. And that's their main thing. But is there anyone in this who you would say was great? Like any performance who you would say, oh man, that was...
Jason,
Kane Hodder.
Yes, pretty good, I guess.
Dick,
Very
unstoppable.
He did exactly
400 plus
exactly what
bullets.
he was paid to do.
That's true. He
Yeah.
was exactly correct. We got a very rare under the hockey mask shot in this that was pretty good.
Wait, did we?
Yeah. She cuts it off of him when she's like studying him before he wakes up.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, ugly, and puts it back on. It's like, you're a
I
scientist.
looked
What?
away because there was a lot of knife in face, and I was like, I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, I feel that. This is not for anyone? I was going to say
Yeah,
not for
if
the
you-
faint of heart, but I don't think it's for anyone.
If you're squeamish like I am, it is not for you. Also, if you do not enjoy hypersexual content,
Yeah, this
it is also not for you.
We are
because
not kidding around when we say that this is the setup to a porn the entire time.
in the first 20 minutes, there's a couple that's like, yeah, we're gonna go have sex, goodbye. And I was like, they're the first ones dead, guaranteed.
Terrible scientists they were.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, like, in that same scene, 2 other couples are like going off to have just everybody's going to Bone Town.
Yeah.
And
Listen.
I was like, all right, what is this movie?
Listen, if Earth 1 is gone, what else is there to do but go to Bone Town?
But they have Earth 2 and
Do you-
science to do.
Do you
But
guys
you're waiting to get to Earth 2. You gotta go to Bone Town.
do you guys think the Earth
There's a murderer on board.
Do you guys think the Earth
But
1
Bone Town.
Do you guys think the Earth 1 got killed by monsters?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. That's
It actually, that what happened was the aftermath of Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Freddy's Earth. It's
Yeah.
you go
Yeah.
there, that's where Freddy lives.
Yep. Okay, I have something real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
So, my thought about the whole thing that it could have possibly been in theaters at the same time of Fellowship of the Ring, it led me on another path,
Okay.
a different path,
A darker path.
If I had gone right rather than left in the fork in the road. So here are other movies that came out. So this came out April 26, 2001, and trust me, it didn't go through my head that I didn't miss that April 26th is also the day that Avengers Endgame came out. Anyway, so
A blessed day it is.
now here are
National
other movies
holiday.
that came out in April of 2001. Legally Blonde,
Oh,
Training Day.
Oh man. Okay. Oh,
Rush Hour 2,
holy shit.
American Pie 2,
Are you serious?
Ocean's 11.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
He's already
Jurassic-
dead.
no.
He's already dead. Just let him die, Nolan.
Jurassic Park 3,
No.
Planet of the Apes, the Mark Wahlberg one,
Okay.
Fuck.
Spirited Away.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And the big daddy of them all, Pearl Harbor.
Oh, wow. What a year. What a month.
Wow.
What a month. That was a
What
month.
a year happened in that month. Holy shit. Good
Yeah,
God.
damn. That is absolutely insane.
Imagine going to see Spirited Away and the sound that you hear from the other side of the theaters is fucking Jason
Well,
X.
you know what I think about is like, when you're in like middle school and you like buy a ticket to one movie and then you don't want to go home yet, so you just like walk into another movie.
Yeah.
Just the options you would have had in April of
Yeah.
2001.
You start at Legally Blonde, you go to Pearl Harbor, then Ocean's 11, then Jason X.
So many opportunities for wrong choices too.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yep.
it's like back
Yep.
and forth, like 1-to-1. Incredible.
Yeah. So that's insane.
Yeah. Wow.
I would also like to bring up that in some of the trivia on IMDb for this movie, screenwriter Todd Farmer based much of the film on Alien 1979, even naming one of the characters. Even naming one of the characters who he also played, Dallas, after Tom Skerritt's
Dallas,
character
I noticed
in the Ridley
that.
Scott film. I didn't
Jesus
notice
Christ.
that, but like, talk about
I wanted
a
to text
ripoff.
y'all and be like, do they really name this motherfucker Dallas? Good
Yeah,
lord.
this movie felt like it was made in the 2080s, Like,
Yeah.
if it was the 80s, but also in the early 2000s.
Oh.
You know what it also kind of felt like to me was that it felt like it was made purely by stealing props and sets from other stuff. Like it felt like they were all just like on the lot and they were just stealing shit. And like it didn't matter where it was from the Legally Blonde set, who cares? It just does not hang together.
They even stole footage. Like that belly button shot. Definitely from a
Basic
movie that is
Instinct.
not this one.
It's pulled directly from American Pie 2, actually.
Actually,
yeah.
exactly. That's where it came from.
Precisely. I mean, this does have a lot of American Pie influences, if we're gonna be real.
No.
Yeah, a lot of the beginning of this movie is nipple-based.
Most of this movie, I would say, is like strongly nipple themed.
BNE, big nipple energy.
Yeah, big nipple
Wait,
energy, big nipple thematic content.
Ew, I hate where this is going.
I love where this is going.
I did sort of leave out when I had us play our game where I read the tags on IMDb and I had you guess what movie it is. One of the tags was in fact nipples.
Are you fucking
Really?
serious?
I am not kidding.
You
Let
know
me go
what?
back to the tag.
You know what? To be fair, if I was someone who was like, man, nipples are my whole deal in life.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing. And there was a movie out there that had a scene dedicated to a character being like, hey, are these nipples good? And then one of them, and then they fall off and then they put them back on. I feel like if I was that person, I would want to be aware. I would want to have a tag there for that.
Dear listener, I would describe the scene, but you don't want me to.
I mean, I just described it in its entirety.
Yeah.
So.
Some of
the
the
robot.
tags being that I didn't read being nipples, breasts, murder of nude woman,
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Why are these tags?
dead body, demon, bad guy.
I just want a very strong antagonist.
I
Let
want
me
my
go to a
only
movie called
tag to
Bad
be
Guy.
bad guy.
Wait. You have to listen to
Okay.
this next one. I am so confused. East
Yeah.
Coast.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
I would like any of you to tell me what this movie could possibly have to do with the East Coast.
Do they crack?
I'm
Does
pretty
the
sure
shooting
Camp
star?
Crystal Lake was on the East Coast.
Was it? Oh, I guess.
But-
I guess that's it then.
But
This really does.
Wait, did you miss
since
the
they
scene?
VR'd a place that was on the East Coast, it is in the movie tags that it involves the East Coast.
Did
Yeah,
you
this-
miss the
it's really East
45-minute
Coast-based.
section where Jason searches for romance in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina?
Yeah, that was a pretty good part of the movie, I would say.
I must have closed my eyes real fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he-
he probably took a little nap.
That must have been when I was feeding the dogs.
Yeah, did you miss the part where an entire like Christian propaganda film plays out about 2/3 of the way through the movie, then they go back?
Yep.
Oh.
It's
I
also
guess-
about football for some reason.
Yeah, I did think that was kind of weird, but I just saw it as, like, one of the sharks they were jumping, so, you know, I don't know.
Yeah. Did you not see the part where Jason gets adopted by a family so that he can play college football or whatever?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a vague memory of that.
Yeah.
The Blind Side, but it's Jason this time.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, they did take one of his eyeballs out.
That's his blind side. Yes. Good job.
Wow. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Also, another trivia fact is that Jason never blinks in this entire movie. Anytime you see his eyes, he never blinks.
Oh, that's cool.
Not once. Blinkless.
Gosh, that's genius direction.
Hey guys, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Yep.
How did Jason get out of that bunch of locks and chains that he was trapped in at the beginning of the movie?
Listen.
Strong.
Jason is people don't talk about this, but did you ever seen the movie The Prestige?
Yeah.
That was actually Jason's biopic.
Cool. Cause Jason's a big and he's a strong, and we all know that, and we all love
But he's
that.
also a dumb.
He's a
confirmed.
big and he's a strong, and he's a pretty dumb, but we all know that about Jason, and we love that about him.
Well, he plays dumb.
No, but
Jason's a
they literally
big
said
and-
that he is the tiniest brain that they had ever seen.
Jason's
Well,
a big.
size doesn't equal quality.
He's a big and he's a strong, and he's secret smart inside of small brain. But the question that I have is, he didn't break any of the chains or any of the
Nope.
locks. He just was not in them anymore, and the man was in them. And I don't
Yeah.
understand how he did.
The pledge
so-
to turn the prestige.
At the beginning of this movie, there's a lot of sexual tension between Jason and this man who's like holding him captive. They're just like making eyes at each other for a
Kinda
while.
hot.
It's a little homoerotic. Really don't know what that was about, but the guard guy like walks up to him and is like, "Stop looking at me," and like puts a hood on his head. And then cut to later, people are going to get Jason, and they take the hood off of the body, and it's the guard guy, and he's dead.
Yeah,
But he's
see,
in the
like
chains.
Jason isn't Batman. Like, I don't know how he,
No.
how he
It's
did
also
like that
like
escape.
very Silence of the Lambs. Like
Yeah.
It is really Silence of the Lambs,
Yeah.
actually.
they're trying to make him into like a sadistic killer mastermind, but also they're like, this guy's dumb as shit. He doesn't think.
I think the reason that it bothers me is because Jason has always been able to teleport like randomly, even though he never runs, and like that's like kind of
Yeah.
the classic like Jason trope or whatever. And I think the reason it bothers me here is because in the setup to this movie, I feel like we want him to escape. I feel like because he's all chained up and he's got these like mean people, like weird people who are all weird around him, and I feel like we want him to get out. So when he just is out, I'm like, oh wait, what?
You know what it reminds of? You know what it reminds of, Brian?
What?
You know, like at the beginning of Spider-Man 2002, directed by Sam Raimi, when Norman Osborn is talking to the military people about keeping his government contract? It's kind of like that.
Is that where you're stopping the description? Because I feel like most people would probably not know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I'm stopping. that.
Okay, I have something very important to read you guys from the Goofs page on the IMDb.
Okay.
From the what page? I'm
Goofs.
sorry.
I heard it
Goose
too.
page?
I heard
Oh,
it too.
I thought you said goose page.
Yeah, the Wild
The
Goose page.
So when the android's nipples fall off, we're back to the nipples again. This is in the category audiovisual unsynchronized. When KM's nipples fall off, they make a metallic sound when they hit the floor. Since they were supposed to be like the real thing, they would have been made of the same material the rest of her skin was made of, which would not have made such a noise. So
God,
what
that
I'm
person was so
saying-
smart.
I
Yeah.
simply must know I must know everything about the person who wrote this goof. Like who
Yes.
wrote those sentences and put them on the internet.
So, what I'm getting at is that Jason X has specifically spawned a cult, internet community. I'm gonna call it a cult around nipples, and what sound they make when they fall off. I guess.
Is there nipple discourse in the Jason fandom?
Yes, there is. And it's all because of this movie, and I don't know whether to praise it for being progressive and bringing these, issues to light.
I mean, not that one, for sure.
Yeah, or to just be upset and sad that I had to read this on the internet on the day of our Lord, Friday, July 2nd.
I think that this film has ruined everything. And I'm not sure exactly how it did it in such a short amount of... It's a breezy 90 minutes.
It goes by pretty fast.
It does.
Because it's insane.
It's insane. It's ridiculous. I think it's kind of like seeing an android, fake nipples and all, achieve like self-realization, like achieving consciousness, because this is the event horizon that we talked about in I think in the previous or 2 episodes ago. Yeah, when we talked about The Conjuring, where we were talking about the point at which a franchise becomes so absurd because it's been going for so long that when you look back, you're like, what the fuck even is this anymore? And that's when it becomes sentient. And I feel like this is the moment that Jason, the movie franchise, became sentient.
Event Horizon also, I think, came out in 2001. Just kidding. It was 1997. But I'm glad I tried.
Yeah. I respect the hell out of the fact that this movie exists. It's ridiculous.
This movie has the gall to be as bad as it is, as confidently as it is, you know?
And past the point that was super okay. Like, this is 2001. This isn't, the 90s where there was just random shit happening all the time.
It's like, I'm just gonna make the 21st boner comedy of the month.
Yeah.
But
it's a horror movie in space.
It's just so ready to be as insane as it is.
Yeah.
It's so ready to be more than it is. It's ready to grow.
Yeah. It's ready to grow, and it's ready to have, 14 different endings, but all in the same movie within the last 40 minutes. So.
Yeah.
Would you guys say that this is the best of the worst of the worst, or a guilty pleasure?
Sober.
I have my answer.
For me, sober, it was a worst of the worst, but if you got me really, really just really incoherently drunk, I would have a great time.
Okay, wait, I have my answer.
Yes.
You know how the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all like God? You know?
Right, yeah.
I think this is like that. This is good, bad.
This is like that.
This is the best of the worst of the worst, and a guilty pleasure all at the same time, I think.
It's the holy trinity of bad movies.
Now, if this movie was a denomination of Christianity, would it be Mormon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. No, actually, no, it would not. There's too much nipple stuff in this one.
That's true.
This is Scientology, I think. This is what they think actually happened.
Oh.
This is Jason X.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say worst of the worst sober, but, holy trinity if I was absolutely trashed, which means drunk out of 5. I think we're all thinking 5 out of 5.
Oh, yeah. This is a top of the scale.
12 out of 5.
This broke the scale.
Please inject the Everclear into my bloodstream.
There is a point, if you are below a sober threshold, you are legally not allowed to watch this. It'll stop playing on HBO Max.
This is the part where I have to say, please don't inject Everclear. You will die.
Or do. You might not.
But what a death, though, right?
Yeah, but also...
You'd be wasted for about 12 seconds.
I feel like we have a legal obligation to say, please don't do that. But also, you know what you should do?
Okay. Oh, this is good. This is a good segue.
You know what you should do?
I'm not under the jurisdiction
to our
of the FDA.
YouTube channel.
Nolan, you fucked it. We had such a beautiful transition.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at Ghoul School Pod. You can rate us on iTunes. It helps us a lot. And we're also available on Spotify, Overcast, all of your podcatchers of choice. You can send us recommendations and your thoughts and whatever you want at ghoulschoolofficial@gmail.com.
Yeah.
You can get Nolan to send you a sound file of him doing these sound effects for free if you just email us.
That's true, and each one will be individually crafted for you.
Yep.
Personalized.
Yep.
Yeah. He'll say your name at the end.
Do all that.
Yep.
And hey, if you have a friend that you think would like the show or you think would hate the show, tell them about it. Word of mouth is the best way that we get new listeners. So
If you also email asking Brian for a hug, he'll come and give you one small hug.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's how that works. I'll come to the city that you're in, but I will not find you. You will then have to find me, and you have 24 hours.
Right.
So I think that's fair.
He's got a train to catch.
Yeah, I've got a train to catch. No matter where I fly to, I do have a train to catch.
And I think I have a train to catch, so thank you guys so much for listening. Do all the things I already told you to do, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye. Jason.
It seems another period is at an end. Brr! Don't you wish these things went on forever? But join us again in 445 years for Ghoul School X.